It was the kind of quiet birthday that made you second-guess your own significance. No streamers, no cake, not even a candle flickering in dimmed light. Just the soft tick of the wall clock and the clink of Clarabelle's heels as she stepped out of the kitchen, holding a box, wrapped in silver paper, topped with a ribbon so tight it looked like it might snap under the weight of her expectation. She smiled as she held it out to me, that tight-lipped, perfectly composed expression she'd mastered through years of cocktail parties and awkward in-law dinners. Her eyes were just a bit too wide, like she wanted to soak in my reaction, but wasn't sure she could stomach it if I looked too long. She extended the box like it was a peace offering, or maybe a test. "Happy birthday, Braxton," she said. I took the box slowly, resting it on my lap. The velvet was soft, dark, the kind of expensive that whispers rather than shouts. There was something about the way she perched on the arm of the couch watching me. Fingers curled inward just slightly. I offered her a smile just to ease the air, then peeled back the wrapping, lifting the lid to reveal a gold ring, nestled in deep navy satin. It was simple, clean. No gaudy stone, no ornate setting. Just a flawless band with the faintest shimmer catching the light like a promise. Tilted it toward me and caught the engraving inside, "For your forever." The words hit somewhere deep and quiet in my chest. Clarabelle always knew how to make grand gestures feel subtle. I looked up at her and smiled. "It's perfect," I said. And for a second, I meant it. She beamed. Not a full, uninhibited grin. Clarabelle didn't do those, but a soft glow that flickered in her eyes, warming the corners of her mouth. "I thought it suited you," she said. "Understated, but strong." I slid the ring onto my finger. It fit like it belonged there, snug, but not tight. My skin didn't tingle. There was no strange premonition, just the quiet sound of her breathing across from me, and the feel of cool metal settling against my skin. I raised my hand and studied it under the dim living room. Light. "Feels like something I should have always had," I said. Clarabelle tilted her head, a lock of hair slipping past her ear. "It's for the years ahead," she said softly. "You've worked so hard lately. I just wanted you to have something that reminded you you're not alone in it." She leaned forward and pressed a kiss to my cheek. I let it linger. Her lipstick left a trace of cherry wine on my skin. And, for the first time that day, it felt like the celebration was real. Just her and me. Quiet, simple. A moment suspended in our otherwise noisy life. We didn't need confetti or crowded dinners. Just this. We sat there for a while, sipping the wine she'd opened, something dry and expensive, the kind she always said tasted like potential. The television hummed in the background, a show neither of us watched. Her head found its way to my shoulder, and I let my hand rest over hers, fingers interlacing like they used to when we first dated. I remember thinking, maybe this was us, getting back to something we'd lost. Maybe the silence wasn't hollow. It was peace. Later, when she went to bed early, claiming a headache, I stayed behind in the living room. The ring caught my eye again in the dim light. I turned it slowly on my finger, reading the inscription one more time. "For your forever." There was something about the way it was worded. So absolute. Forever is a bold word. You don't just carve it into metal unless you're sure. I wondered what she meant by it. Was it hope? A plea? Or something else? Still, I felt oddly comforted. I told myself this was a new start, that maybe we'd passed through the storms and arrived at calmer waters. I ignored how long it had been since she'd touched me without prompting. I ignored the fact that last year's birthday was loud and full of people, and this year, it was just us. and a ring. I ignored a lot of things that night. When I finally went to bed, she was already curled under the sheets, breathing softly. Slipped under the covers beside her and stared at the ceiling for a long time. I felt the weight of the ring pressing against my skin as I folded my hands over my chest. She stirred once in her sleep, reaching out and placing her palm on my arm. Like it was instinct. Like some part of her remembered we were supposed to belong to each other. I closed my eyes and let that be enough. Back from the counter, like the ring might lash out on its own. But it's just a ring, I said, half to myself. Why would she? I didn't finish the question. The pawnbroker didn't need to hear the rest. My thoughts were already racing ahead of my mouth. Clarabelle. The perfect tea. The energy pills, her soft reassurances, her sudden shift from ambitious wife to doting caretaker. It all reassembled itself in my mind like a puzzle I'd been staring at upside down. And now, one piece had clicked into place. The whole image was turning sickeningly clear. "You need to go to the police," he said again. More firmly this time. "Don't wait. Don't confront her. Don't give her the chance to explain. Just go." I stared at him, then down at the ring. It still looked beautiful. Golden, smooth, flawless, deceptively harmless. I picked it up with the edge of my sleeve and dropped it into a small plastic zip bag I had in my coat pocket, the one I used for carrying extra screws and pins when I was at work. My fingers were trembling. "Thank you," I said, though the words barely formed. I didn't know. He nodded once. Most don't. That's the danger. It's not the kind of poison that screams. It waits. It lets you carry it. Trust it. Love it. That hit harder than I expected. I turned without another word and walked out of the shop, the bell, above the door, jingling like it had no idea the world had just tilted beneath my feet. Outside, the wind cut sharp across my face. I stood on the sidewalk, the bag with the ring clutched in my hand, my breath puffing out in uneven clouds. I couldn't go home. Not yet. I didn't even know what home meant anymore. I got back in my car and sat there for a long time. Engine off, the silence pressing in around me. My thoughts were a blur, racing through. Memory after memory, scanning every interaction with Clarabelle over the last 6 months, trying to find the crack where the lie began. Was it when she started working late?